Alright guys, bad boy Jenvey here, aka Satan, aka Dave Jenvey, yeah. I'm the devil himself. Been sent here by God to sort you the fuck out. Monkey man, listen to me, you need to put your money into Wisdomtree CRUD. I tell you every fucking week, Wisdomtree CRUD. You've got to do it. Your lizard king, King Charles, is going to sky up them oil prices. They're going up at the moment. They don't go up every day, but they're going up. The general trend is upwards. It's going to cause really bad inflation, and food prices go through the roof. And when that happens, you're going to starve to death, basically. That's the plan, to reduce the population. I mean, it's not just going to be tough. Remember this as well, monkey man. It's not just going to be tough for you, the monkey man. It's going to be really bad for you. But it's also going to be tough for a lot of reptilians. You know, those reptilians are going to suffer as well. Your lizard king, King Charles, pussy, absolute bitch. He don't want to work with me because I'm here to sort it all out. I've been sent by God, timing perfect. You know, it's been timed perfect. Before you do the Great Reset, I turn up and say, yeah, you don't need to do that now. Just you turn on that because what we need to do now, these greys up there with all the tech, on a clear night, if you're in the UK, you can see them signalling, making all signals with their spaceships. It looks like a star, but it's all changing shape. They want to work with us. They want to work with me in particular in getting you into the stars, and you got getting new Earths. You got to fight for those Earths, obviously. You got to go to war, basically, to fight for new Earths. Instead of warring against each other, you're supposed to be warring against aliens to fight for new Earths. And also, you need to look after this planet better as well. You're not looking after this planet that well. But King Charles don't work with me. Why? It's pussy. So they've been killed off. Slowly but surely. By God in heaven. They're all getting cancer. Started. You know, I don't know if you saw Taylor Swift's photo recently of Prince William. I'll put it on screen. He looks like shit. He clearly looks like shit. He don't look well. Kate Middleton, the pictures you saw recently of her trooping the colour, that's a load of bullshit. It's all fabricated shit. They filmed it a few months earlier because she'd already been diagnosed with cancer at that point. So they are gradually being killed off by God in heaven. So eventually they'll have to work with me. The other thing, I'm not going to be doing reptile footage today. So I've been doing reptile footage where I get famous reptiles and show you they're reptilians instead of monkey men. To make the monkey men aware that there's two types of humanity, reptile and monkey, on Earth, which the monkey men weren't aware of because the reptilian disguise is so good. But I've done so many videos on famous people that are reptilians. I can't be bothered to do anymore. It's a pain in the ass looking for it. I have to look through all these videos, look at slow-mo, and I've proven to you, just like I proved to you I'm the devil in previous videos, I've proven to you reptilians are real. So I'm not just going to keep continuing to do it. Okay, so hopefully the monkey men understand that. What we're talking about today, the main thing we're talking about today is the women. The women currently are a fucking disgrace in God's eyes. And the reason is, one, they've been sold this bullshit lie of feminism, right? In the afterlife, guess who runs the show? God, the Almighty. And God is a man. And it's men that rule. Men are the gods. Why? Why are men the gods? Because they're the best fighters. Out there in the universe, looking up into the sky, out there, you know, into space and all that, it's all about fighting. Everything is about fighting. The war for new Earths against aliens, you know, fighting against aliens, the war never fucking ends. Because as your numbers multiply and increase, you need to get more Earths. That means you need to go to war with new alien species again and again and again for as long as reality exists, however long that is. I don't know. I'm not sure God even knows that one. He probably does. He's God, isn't he? But I don't know. I'm only the devil. So, warring is going to, you know, you just have to get accustomed to it. Warring. Going to war, but instead of going to war with each other, which is really stupid, you're supposed to work as a team with the Greys and go to war, yeah, against what's out there, the horrors that are out there in space. Horrors, you know, you think xenomorph and things like that, you know, but intelligent species as well. You go to war with, you got to fight them, you got to kill them, and then guess what you got to do? You got to eat them. They're food. They're food for the dinner plate of humanity. But they can kill you. See, it can work the other way. They can kill you, and you end up as food and getting shat out the arse of an alien. That could happen. So you need to get a lot harder. But unfortunately, the women are a fucking disgrace, and they've been sold this bullshit lie of feminism, like somehow they're like powerful or something. They're not powerful. Why are women not powerful? Because they're shit at fighting. Even a man that's a bit of a pussy among other men, right? He's a bit of a beta bitch pussy among other men. Usually, he can bash the women up pretty fucking easy. Because women are so shit at fighting. What are women good at? They're good at sex, right? Having sex with men, obviously. They're good at sex, yeah? They're good at making babies. And they're good at doing light chores around the house. They can't do heavy lifting because they're not that strong. It's not good for them to be doing heavy lifting. So, but light chores, washing up, cooking, cleaning, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of women out there that'll have the fucking, you know, they'll be a bit pissed off, a bit cheesed off with me. But all I'm doing is telling you the fucking truth. What's a woman's main job in a house? Other than doing domestic chores. Her main job is sex slave, right? And then once she's a sex slave, that's how you get babies, right? So you get more people. And, you know, a very important job for a mother is a very important job for a woman is being a mother. Let's get it right, Dave. A very important job for a woman is being a mother, so that's really important too. A mother's love, super important. But unfortunately, another thing the women have been fucking up, that's a fucking disgrace, right? Because the women have been, you know, going on about feminism and, you know, trying to get all antagonistic with men, like we're going to fight you or something. You can't fight. There's no battle of the sexes. If there was a battle of the sexes, the women would get destroyed. They get totally fucking destroyed in the first round. Why? Why is that the case? Because they're shit at fighting. And God, yeah, is a man. That's how it is. You shit at fighting. You just have to accept, ladies, in the afterlife. And once I'm in power in this life, you don't have power. Women aren't supposed to have power. It goes to their heads. They abuse it. It often goes to the heads of men. Beta bitch men, usually. If a beta bitch man, like King Charles, a pussyhole, gets fucking power, it goes to their head and they act like a fucking cunt with it. But normally, if you're an alpha man, if you're a proper badass fighting man, like a tough man, it doesn't go to your head. And you try to do what's in the best interest of the people. And you rule responsibly as a good person. You know, the power doesn't go to your head. Usually as an alpha, if you're an alpha man. It's always better for an alpha man to be the leader. But your problem is what's happened now. This is where the women are fucked up proper in the eyes of God. Because they want to have some power, and they want to have power with their feminist crap, and they want to try and somehow, even though they're shit at fighting, they want to somehow rule in the house. They've got this idea that what I'll do, instead of getting with a badass like me, an alpha hard man badass that's good at fighting, what they'll do is they'll get with a complete pussy. They'll just do everything they tell them. Instead of just recognising, ladies, that you're shit at fighting, yeah? You're no good at fighting, right? You're good at being sex slaves. You're good at sucking. And you're good at fucking. You're good at making babies. That's really important. You're good at being mothers. And you're good at light domestic chores. Light domestic chores, not heavy lifting, yeah? That's what you're good at. You're good at them skills. The average woman. There's some women who are really talented. So you say, oh yeah, but what about Taylor Swift? You know, she's a talented songwriter. And she is, yeah. You know, there's people who are women who are talented at things, or J.K. Rowling writing books. There's women who can do more than just what I've just described. But this is how it's basically supposed to be, yeah. Men are supposed to be fighters, hard bastards. And you also get men that are supposed to be workers, working men, right? So they might not be that good at fighting, but they're good at working, whatever that job might be, right? So that's men, right? And they're also supposed to be fathers. Most important job in the fucking universe, what is it? Father, being a father to your kids. Second most important job in the fucking universe, being a mother. Both those jobs super important, right? But men, fighters, workers, fathers, yeah? That's men. Covered, right? Women, sex slaves to men, right? Sex slaves, right? To make babies, right? That's important. Be mothers as well. And do domestic chores around the house. So the man might have been out fighting aliens all day, or he's been working all day. Maybe he's been building something to help fight the aliens or something. He's been working, right? He's been doing a hard job. He comes home, he's fucking knackered, right? That's where his woman needs to have covered all the domestic chores, done all that shit, you know, and she's looking after him. If he's not too tired, maybe they can have sex, make another baby, I don't know, you know what I mean? And that's how your system is supposed to be set up. And the head of the family is the man, not the woman. It's not supposed to be the woman because he's shit at fighting. It's the man who's the boss of the house. Now, you say that's old fashioned. Shut the fuck up, because this is how it runs in the afterlife. In heaven, the boss is a man. It's called God, the Almighty. You don't go against God. Oh, you don't go against him. What? Scary motherfucker. You think I'm fucking scary? You ain't met God yet. Wrath of God. Have you heard of that fucking one? Wrath of fucking God. Oh, you don't fuck with God. And I know. I'm Satan. I fucking well know it. So, you got to behave, you know, in heaven. You got to be good. Once you get into heaven, oh, I'm in now. I can do whatever I want. It don't work like that. You got to still be good, obviously. Unless you want to get kicked out or put in hell. If you really fuck up. But, yeah. So it is for the ladies. You're picking pussies. You're picking pussies. A lot of the time. And it's really bad for the human race. Now, it's in the media sometimes. Sometimes you hear about it where the sperm counts are dropping. Sperm counts in men are dropping. The reason is because women are picking pussies. If you pick a beta bitch that's no good at fighting, he's not going to be as easily able to get you pregnant. That's how nature works. Mother Nature don't like pussies. They don't like skinny, weak bitches that are no good at fighting. Mother Nature likes big, strong, hard bastards, hard men. Now, a woman might say, well, how do I know if my man's a tough guy or not? He says he's a tough guy. Easy. If he's a young guy, give him the test. Give him the acid test. Will he take up boxing? Or it could be UFC, or it could be kickboxing, right? A combat sport. Will he, or Thai boxing, there's another one. Will he take up boxing or one of the others and fucking prove to her he's an hard bastard by fighting, having multiple fights, learning how to fight, going down the gym, you know, putting in the effort, getting fit and all that, and learning how to fucking fight? Will he do that? If he won't do it, if he's making all excuses, guess what, ladies? You're dating a pussy. And that's no good. You can't have like pussies on top of pussies on top of pussies. At the moment, the ladies have been putting their pussy and putting it on other pussies to have a beta bitch in their house so they can easily control him and be the boss of the house. You got women being the boss of the house, the head of the house. Utterly fucking mental. I'm not saying men should treat women badly. Of course they shouldn't. Should treat women well if they're being good. If women are being good, they should get treated well. But if they're being bad, they should get a fucking slap. But it leaves no marks. A man should never beat up a woman, because a man, whether he's a beta bitch or an alpha tough dude, can destroy, totally fucking destroy a woman in a fight. And that's why women have no power, because you're so shit at fighting. I'll say it again, you're so shit at fighting. You got to learn this, ladies. You're good at sex. Oh, you're good at that one. You need to be masters of sex. We're going to talk about that a bit later. Something really important I need to teach the ladies about sex. But yeah, it's men who rule the show. The men shouldn't treat women bad if they're being good. But if a woman's being bad, you know, give her a slap. You can't in this society. You get done for domestic violence. If I've slapped you like that, where's the marks? There aren't any fucking marks. A man needs to be able to discipline his bitch. And that's how it works in the afterlife. Any woman stepping out of line gets slapped up to make her fucking behave. Do you understand, ladies? I hope you fucking do. God don't take shit from women. He's the gaffer, he's the boss. And the women, when you're in heaven, the gods are the men. Because they're the ones that do the working in terms of grafting, building houses and building infrastructure and all that. And they're the ones who do the fighting with the aliens. It's always been the men who are the boss, because say when humanity was, you know, when people are on the African plain, who does the fighting of the lions and the fucking whatever else, the hyenas? It's the men, it's not the women. The men are the ones out taking those motherfuckers on with like spears or whatever, trying to fend them off from the village or something, you know what I mean? And then the women, they're doing the sex and the baby making and being mothers. Like domestic chores, that's their job. Pretty fucking straightforward, but you've fucked it up. Your society's fucked all this up with this feminist crap. Blowing smoke up the arse of these women, making them think they're more special than they actually are. Partially because you've got a lizard bitch king. A lot of it stems from the fact you're a lizard bitch king working for these little 4-foot greys. They're skinny little weak men. They can't fight to save their fucking lives. That's why they need you. And these are the people that have been ruling in society. And they wanted to make society very feminised, very weak. Hence why they've brought in feminism. To blow smoke up the arse of the women. To make them think they're more than they are. And, you know, I mean, a lot of women will say, well, we need two wages now. So, like, the cost of living is so high. To run our house, we need 2 wages. Yeah, I understand that. So that's why women are saying we haven't to go to work. So we should share the domestic chores at home. Yeah, I understand. The ideal situation is where the man goes to work and the woman is doing the domestic chores at home. That's the ideal situation. But because the costs of living so high, a lot of women have to go to work, so they have to share the domestic chores with the man, which is fair enough. That's totally reasonable. That's a reasonable situation from the woman to say that. But then who's looking after the kids? I know you haven't got a choice, have you? Because the cost of living's so high. But who's looking after the kids? Who's being the mother to the kids? It's supposed to be the dad at work, grafting, comes home, puts his feet up, woman looks after him, the kids are looked after. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be the mum's supposed to be working as a team, really. She's looking after the home and the kids. And you're out there doing work. Cost of living's so high, you've only got one earth. That's the problem. When you've got more earths, you've got more natural resources. When you start butchering the fucking shit out of these fucking aliens, carving them up and turning them into fucking beef burgers, there won't be beef, there'll be alien burgers, and start eating them, you'll have more natural resources at your disposal, so the cost of living will come down, you'll have more abundance of everything. So then hopefully you're going to be in a situation where you can just have one person in the family at work and the mother looking after things at home. That's how it's going to work with most couples. And it's important this happens, because while you're both at work, like I say, it's not as good for the kids. It's not as good for the kids to not have their parents there. You know, they've been looked after by who knows now. Wherever, nursery, babysitter, I don't know, fucking other members of the family, you know. I mean, you can have that. It's up to you how you live your lives. But I'm trying to explain to you the gender roles of men and women. They've got a bit blurred lately in recent decades. And a lot of that is to do with, like I say, you know, your king and the greys who ruled over your king, trying to make society more fairy boy, more feminised, more pussified. Yeah? Hopefully you understand. But I'm just telling you the truth. Okay, I'm going to explain it to the ladies, right? You want to go after high testosterone men, right? So, well, how do I know that? Well, they're big, heavy, strong. They've got fucking beards and they love fighting. They love fighting. Nothing better. You know what I mean? You say, oh, I reckon you should give boxing a go. They say, that is the best idea I have ever fucking heard in my fucking life. Go down the boxing gym and get my face stroked by a fucking bunch fucking fist. Not me. Not fucking mean. That's a fucking man. An hard bastard. An hard bastard who loves our fucking bunch up. Right? Because you need those kind of men to get new earths. If you've just got a bunch of fairy boy mincers, you're not going to get new earths. Because they're too scared to do the fucking fighting. So I'm going to give you an example to the ladies, right? So Tim Henman, this is the problem, right? Tim Henman, nice guy. I'm sure he's a lovely fella, right? But, you know, he's cute looking and he never really won anything, though. No, like big tournaments, he didn't win them. Like Grand Slams, right? So, but everyone was on Henman Hill to see Henman. All the ladies, young and old ladies, it's not just the young women that are making this fucking mistake. All the young and old ladies were on Henman Hill in their droves to see Tim Henman usually lose. To who? This dude, high testosterone man. Beard, thick beard, he'll have big fucking hairy chest and all of that. Pete Sampras, Pistol Pete. Hairy face, hairy chest, hairy fucking legs. More muscular, more strong. So when he hits the fucking ball, he hits the fucking forehand, it stays fucking hit. And little skinny Tim Henman can't return it because his testosterone levels aren't as high. And someone like Sampras, he gets the Grand Slams on the tennis court, and it's like high testosterone men like that, big stronger men, that get the fucking wins on battlefields in space. But a lot of women would prefer to be with a Tim Henman because they think, oh, well, you know, he's a nicer boy and, you know, he might be more, I don't know, in their mind, more servile to them in the home. I'm going to show you another example. Man United. All the girls fancied Bex. And, you know, good footballer, but, you know, he's got the highlighted hair, you know, he wears a sarong. I don't know if you remember when he wore a sarong, he wore a dress to a party. He's got a decent beard, I suppose, but he's not an hard bastard. He's not an hard fucking bastard. He's not an hard bastard. He don't love fighting. Satan loves fighting. Can't wait to get his hands on your heavyweights. I got my fucking hit list. U6 on it. Should be on it. U6 not on it at the minute. Should be. Can't wait to get my hands on them. Can't wait. Will I win? I don't know. I might not. I might get destroyed. But I'll have a fucking good time getting destroyed. Because I'm a man. I love fighting. High testosterone. I've got chest hair. You know, see the fucking chest hair. See it? Because I'm a man. I've got to see a fucking beard. See the beard. Because I'm a man with high testosterone and I love fucking fighting. But you women would rather be with the likes of Beckham. Beckham's idea of fighting is doing that little girly flick with his ankle on Simeone at the 98 World Cup. He got sent off for it because football's... Well, he was stupid. It's a mistake he made when he was young. God's not angry at him for it, but I just say, like, you know, a proper man would have just got up and gone boom and just fucking headbutted him or something. You really want to hurt him, you're going to get sent off. You might as well get sent off for something proper. Which takes me on to my next player. Roy Keane. So this is a guy, smaller dude, but more sort of a fighting man, more testosterone, heavy beard, looks like an angry motherfucker, right? Problem is all the girls fancy Bex. They fancy Beckham. Who's wearing a sarong, he's wearing a dress to fucking parties and stuff. You wouldn't have Roy Keane wearing a fucking dress to fucking parties. Yet you fancy Beckham. You don't fancy Keane. Keane don't get any female interest. You just think, oh, he's a bit of a fucking scary dude. Yeah, I know he's a scary dude, but that means if he's nice to you, I'm sure he's nice to his wife. If he's nice to his wife, you know, it means your house ain't going to get robbed. Jack Grealish, who I'm sure is a lovely man, his house has been robbed more than once. Yet someone like Tyson Fury, big, scary, hard man, his house ain't going to get robbed. There's no one robbing Tyson Fury's house. Do you understand, ladies? So if you're Paris Fury, his wife, you're a lot safer in your home because all like the criminals or whatever outside Tyson Fury's house think, well, yeah, he's the heavyweight champ, so I don't really want to go in there. Whereas someone like Jack Grealish, he's had his house robbed more than once because he's not intimidating. He's not intimidating to criminals. Or really, anyway, I'm sure he's a lovely fella. But we're not going on about loveliness levels. We're going on about fucking hard bastard levels. Another example of the ones that you fancied at Man United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If anyone remembers, he was named the baby-faced assassin. Because, you know, he had a baby face. You know, he's not a big tough guy. Someone like Peter Schmeichel, who Roy Keane and Schmeichel used to not get on that much, probably because they're both high testosterone men and they're vying for power of who controls the dressing room and who controls the captain's armband. Roy Keane and Schmeichel, that's why they wouldn't have liked each other. If they're honest, they'll admit that that's what it was. They didn't get on, Schmeichel and Keane. And the reason is because they're both high testosterone men. And they both want the power, because it's supposed to be alpha men that run the show. So you got Peter Schmeichel here looking all fucking angry. Big, strong, you know, Viking sort of dude. He's Danish. He's from Denmark. But it's sort of that he's got Viking genetics. Vikings were good fighters. The Romans were good fighters too. I'm Roman. So I'm trying to explain to the ladies how things work. Essentially what's happening, you're getting pregnant to the wrong men. And you're going so fairy boy mince now. You're going so much for the fairy boy mincers that you get in a situation where, like, these men can't actually get you pregnant. Their sperm counts are so fucking diabolical because you've been picking over quite a long period of time weak men, soft men that you can easily control to try and be the boss in the home or some shit. That they are actually struggling to get you pregnant. Their sperm counts are that low. Mother Nature hates pussies. Mother Nature wants strong men. It's the same with lions on the African plain. The lions that get to mate with the women are the hard, scary lions that batter the other male lions away. They'll fight with other lions over who gets to shag the women. So the scariest, toughest lions are the ones that do the impregnating of the women. That's just how it works in nature. But unfortunately, that isn't how it works in humanity anymore. You know, you've got this very soft society that protects weak men with police. We're going to talk about this in another episode. But what we need to try and sort the women out for them to spot that, you know, you need to be dating men, ideally, if you can get them. If you might not be a very attractive woman, and you can only get some weak little pussy. But if you can, you need to go after the big, strong men. I mean, Britney Spears, classic example, very desirable woman, right? She could have any man she wanted, and she's chosen Pussies, you know, Justin Timberlake's no fighter, great singer and dancer, might be a really nice guy, I don't know, I've never met him. But he's no fighting man, he's no tough dude, Justin Timberlake. And fucking, she had Federline, another little dancer guy, and she had some bodybuilder dude. I don't think he'd be very tough. Some bodybuilder actor guy. Why aren't she going after NFL footballers? Or boxers or fucking tough dudes, you know what I mean? She's gone for the fairy boy mincers. And she hasn't had a very good experience with them. They haven't been very nice to her. But, you know, I'm just using her as an example of a woman that's well known, very famous, that's made bad decisions in men. You know, because you get with a fairy boy mincer, a beta bitch, or you get with an alpha badass, right? Both of them can beat the living shit out of a woman. They could easily beat her to death. Whether it's the alpha or the beta bitch, you can easily beat up a woman, piece of cake. And often I think the beta bitch, the weaker man, often he has a tendency to be more violent to women. Because you say, well, why? Why is that? Well, try and prove he's a man. He can't fight other men to prove to her he's a man. But he can beat her around to prove to her he's a man. You know what I mean? He can't do anything against an alpha badass. He can't get in a boxing ring, get fucking crushed. So I wouldn't be surprised if the guys who beat up women are actually the pussies, the beta bitches, the pussies. They're the ones who are more likely. The beta bitches are the ones who are more likely to be the wife beaters. Because the alpha, his way of proving he's a man is by beating up other men in a boxing ring or maybe on an NFL football pitch or I don't know where, ice hockey, something like that. And it's just how it is, in my view. And you've gone down this road, humanity, that's very, well, it's not good for humanity. You've become too feminised, too soft. But we're going to talk about something really serious now. It's really important. The women need to understand this. Right, this is for the ladies now, and this is no laughing matter. This is actually a really serious issue. The women need to really pay attention to. If you're shagging, if you're having sex with a man, whether he's an alpha badass or maybe he's not a tough guy, fighter guy, but he's like a good worker. You know, he's a good person and he's a good worker. That's valuable genetics as well to God. Whether he's a good worker or a good fighter, right? A good soldier or whatever. He is very valuable to God. And women need to understand, you know, because men are the gods. Women are the slaves to the gods. Because you're not that good at fighting. And they're the workers as well. The ones who, you know, do a lot of the work. Women are doing the work of making babies and doing the light chores at home, which is important. It is an important job. Women are obviously important. But something you need to learn about is what God in heaven calls reckless riding. And it's a very important fucking issue, so listen up, ladies. When you're shagging a man and you're on top, right, you need to support your weight on your knees. You need to be very careful how you support your weight. Because your entire body weight, if you don't, is coming down upon his dick. And if his dick slips out your vagina and then you come down a bit quick on his cock, you can break his cock. If you're bouncing around, just having a great time, not thinking about the health of his penis, right? God is very, very, very pissed off with you and you're being very selfish. You need to support your weight and be careful when you're riding on top of a man. Because you could have a situation where you break his dick. And that's no good, especially if he's an alpha badass. If he's really great fighter, soldier guy, The last thing God wants is a great man like that getting his dick broken because you're fucking reckless riders when you're on the cock. Support your weight. You need to be really careful. Don't just bounce around recklessly, not thinking. Think about what you're doing. When he's on top, you can relax more. It's up to him then to fucking, he'll know what he's doing. He won't break his own cock. I very much doubt that. But it probably can happen, but it's unlikely. So when you're in missionary, when he's on top, then maybe you can relax a bit. When you're on top, you need to be paying attention to what you're doing. I've seen it. I've seen it where you're just bouncing around, having a great time, and my heart's in my mouth, thinking, oh my life, is she going to break his cock any second? So you need to be aware of this thing, ladies. A lot of you will say, well, I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of this issue, whereas a lot of other ladies would have been. Some people might not have been aware. Some women might not have been aware of the issue, but it's an important issue you need to be aware of. Especially, well, even if he's a good worker. If he's a good worker, he might be a really good worker. And so when he shags women to make more kids, hopefully a good number of them kids are going to be good workers. They have that same instinct for being hard workers, especially if the father does the number one important job in the universe and be's a good father and tries to instill in them a good work ethic. So when they're old, they work hard. To have a good work ethic like he does, you know what I mean? And to work hard and try their best. So those genetics are really important. You say, well, my genetics are important as a woman. Yeah, of course they are, but there's lots of attractive women out there. There's no shortage of hotties. You know what I mean? There's a shortage of badasses. You've got a lot of good workers, I think. I think in the men, you've got some layabouts, obviously, who don't want to do fuck all. They're fucking worthless to God. Lazy bastards who don't want to work. They're not valuable to God. Because you have to work in heaven. You have to have a job. You're not going to be worked. It's not like you have to work, your fingers to the bone. You have to work. You can't just sit around doing nothing all day. It doesn't work. That's not how it is. You've got to work. Obviously you get some layabouts, but I think the men in general do work hard. You've got good working men, but you've got a shortage of badasses. You've got a shortage of bad motherfuckers. And it comes down to this thing, women that just think, well, I'm better off with the fucking pussy boy. Not necessarily. They can beat you up just the same as an alpha badass can. Women are shit at fighting. You know what I mean? So, you need to try and, if you can, if you're a really attractive woman, try and get with badasses more. Britney Spears should have been getting with someone like Taylor Swift's done. Taylor Swift is with a guy called Travis Kelce, and he's an NFL footballer, NFL football guy, and he's really, a really good player, and he's a big, strong dude, and all of that. Britney Spears made the mistake, I think, of getting with a bunch of, small, skinny dudes, and they've been that great to her. One was big, they had a big bodybuilder guy. I'm not going to get into that too much because he was no good. Ascari, she's not with him anymore. Sam Ascari, for anyone who knows, who follows Britney Spears. I'm not going to get into that in too much detail, but I suppose he's a big bodybuilder guy, so maybe she was learning a little bit. But no, tough dudes. Don't make out to me the bodybuilders are tough guys. They're not. They look good, but they're not good at fighting. They're so good at fighting. Why aren't they doing fighting? There's more money in fucking fighting than bodybuilding. There's way more money in fighting than bodybuilding. Just ask Tyson Fury and all the top fighters. They're on more money than any bodybuilders. Although, obviously, Schwarzenegger did well, but he was making most of his money from... He made his big bucks, obviously, in the film industry, didn't he? Films. So, that most of them aren't proper hard bastards. But anyway, this is how it's reckless riding, ladies. It's important. Don't be fucking doing it. Be careful. Seriously. Because those cocks that you're riding are actually really valuable to God in heaven. And some of you aren't riding responsibly. You're reckless riders. You need to sort that fuck out. Right, next tip for the ladies, blowjobs. A lot of you aren't doing blowjobs right. You're doing stupid stuff like sucking testicles and just messing around. Or you get, like, say this is a guy's dick. You're there going, like that. You don't have to do blowjobs. Right, imagine the fingernail is the bell end, right? Forget the shaft, because you can't feel much in the shaft. All the nerve endings are in his bell end. So imagine my fingernail is the bell end. What you do with a blowjob? That's it, really. The edge of his bell end, you know, where it like flares out a bit. You know, like the edge of the bell end. That's the most sensitive part. And sometimes the tip a little bit, I suppose, but mostly where it, around the edge of it. Yeah? The bit that's lowest to the shaft, I suppose. Yeah? You understand? So that's blowjob. Concentrate on the bell ends. That's where all the nerve endings are. Right, ladies? Messing about, licking the shaft and all that. Waste of time. So how you do blowjobs. You need to be masters of sex. But I basically told you how to do it. When you're on top support, your weight. And fucking blowjobs. Bell end. Fingernails the bell end, yeah? So understand that. Right. That's the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.